71 SAGE 888-971-7243. May I ask you something about Maxine Waters? There's a woman who is under the gun, Republican House member, newly elected. She's a Trump supporter because she apparently retweeted some stuff about the shooting in Parkland, Florida, and said it was fake or something. And now she says she doesn't believe it's fake. She's apologizing. Anyway, she's under the gun now. Is there another member of the Congress who's written a letter to Fidel Castro urging him not to send back to America a woman who murdered a New Jersey state trooper, was convicted of murdering a New Jersey state trooper, and escaped to Cuba, where she presently is? Last I checked, she remains number one on the top 10 most wanted list of people that the authorities in New Jersey want. Well, she changed her name to Ashanti Shakur, I think. Her original name was Joanne Chesimard. So Congress passes a unanimous resolution, including Maxine Waters, urging Fidel Castro to send this woman back to America so she can be prosecuted. Maxine Waters realizes that she inadvertently voted for this because she did not know that Joanne Chesimard was Asante Shakur. Maxine Waters knows her by the Shakur name and does not know her by the Joanne Chesimard name. When she found out that she was urging a woman named Joanne Chesimard, whom she did not know was the Ashanti Shakur woman, she writes Castro a letter, says, "I didn't mean to send a letter telling you to send her back. She's a freedom fighter," and likened her to Martin Luther King. I kid you not. Nobody brings it up. Can you imagine if some Republican had written a letter to, I don't know, Putin? Comparing somebody who had murdered some officer as a freedom fighter and urging him not to. I mean, are you kidding me? Look it up. No one says a word. How many of these House members have hung out taking pictures with Louis Farrakhan? How many times was Donald Trump asked to denounce white supremacy, white nationalism, David Duke, Richard Spencer? But there are many, many pictures, including with Barack Obama when he was a senator, with Farrakhan smiling. A man who's referred to Judaism as a gutter religion, a man who's praised Hitler as a great man, the nation's most notorious anti-Semite? Nothing. Cedric Richmond is a top Biden aide, the one who accused Bill Barr of systematic racism for failing to bring a black aide to that hearing. Big picture with him hanging out with Farrakhan, and when he was asked to denounce him, he said, "I'm not going to." Can you imagine? I'm not going to denounce David Duke. I don't know him. I'm not going to denounce. Are you kidding? Chuck Schumer. I've been writing about this for years. Nobody cares. 1974, Chuck Schumer, either he's state attorney or running for state attorney, I forget which, just newly minted out of Harvard, has a meeting with neighbors in a Flatbush area in New York. And these neighbors wanted these 2 buildings full of blacks out of our neighborhood. And Chuck Schumer says, "I'll tell you what I'll do. You guys vote for me. I'll propose a plan, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, to renovate those 2 buildings. The renovation will require me, of course, to give them the right of first refusal, but we'll make them so nice and they're so broke they won't be able to come back. And voila, they'll be gone. Our fingers will be clean." He got elected, and he did it. Renovated those 2 buildings. Oops. The former tenants were able to raise enough money to get back in, and now they moved back in, except now the digs were even nicer, so the scheme failed, not for want of trying. Nobody brings it up. How do we know this happened? Because a guy named Jay Homnick, Hommn, like Nancy, I-C-K, attended the meeting with his racist dad. He said he felt guilty about it. Became a writer. And the reason he started writing about it is because Chuck Schumer once blasted some Supreme Court nominee who belonged to a all-male private club as being sexist when he knows that Chuck Schumer proposed this racist scheme to get rid of these black people out of this neighborhood in New York. Nobody mentions it. Now, don't tell me it's too late. Oh, that took place in the mid-'70s. Are you kidding me? Mitt Romney allegedly held somebody down and cut his hair when he was a student in the mid-'70s, a gay student, and that came up during the election. Donald Trump entered into a consent decree with the FHA over allegedly discriminating against would-be renters who were black and brown. It's often mentioned as Exhibit 2 or 3 for Donald Trump's alleged racism. This took place around the same time, 1974. Nobody even mentions it. Disgusting. And they want you to think that you're crazy and nutcase for suggesting that maybe there were voting irregularities. Let me read you part of the dissent from the Chief Justice, Patience Rogensack. Quote, elections have consequences. One candidate wins and the other loses, but in every case, it is critical that the public perceive that the election was fairly conducted. In the case now before us, a significant portion of the public does not believe that November 3, 2020 presidential election was fairly conducted. Once again, 4 justices on this court cannot be bothered with addressing what the statutes require to assure that absentee ballots are lawfully cast. I respectfully dissent from that decision. I write separately to address the merits of the case and claims presented, end of quote. But they want you to perceive yourself as being a nutcase, believing in conspiracy theories. Were these 3 dissenters believing in conspiracy theories? I'm Larry Elder.